Hey everyone, this is going to be my final thoughts on the H.King Rattler. You guys know I got this car about a month ago and have been running the heck out of it. I got a couple more videos I'm going to post up about it. First off, these aren't the tires and wheels that actually come with it. These are from my Red Cat Blackout. I just put these on because I was running on and off road and the anacondas I had were kind of worn down. The car actually comes with tires and wheels like this. The car comes with 12 millimeter hexes. Yes, it is a 8 scale buggy, but it has 12 millimeter hex. And these are a 2.2 size wheel, and it's sort of a knobby type tread on here. They did this. You can kind of compare this to a 10 scale stadium type truck, like what you would see on the ECX circuit and maybe some of the team associated T4 trucks and stuff as far as the wheel size. Put these on, like I said, because I was running on multiple surfaces and I didn't want to have to keep changing tires and wheels out. Right off the bat with this car, I'll let you guys know I won't beat around the bush with that. Did I like this car? I did. Like I said, this car cost about $175 shipped, and that's ready to run. And that comes with the radio as well, which I will show to you guys in just a second. It also comes with a couple other features. It comes with something called active rear tow system. Let me show this to you guys real quick, what this looks like. What they're talking about is these in the rear of the car. Basically, what you can do is you can go in here. If I can get a good shot of this, there's another actually hole where you can move this up and have the tire to have more toe in. Actually took these off and ran the car with these off once just to see how it would run. And these kind of act like a stabilizer bar as well. And it did squirrel just a little bit like this as it was accelerating. So it wasn't bad. With adjusting the shocks and, different tires, it would accelerate straight. But I recommend if you get this car, just go ahead and leave these on. If you want to do some adjustments, you can make that one adjustment, or you can even get adjustable tie rods to put here. As far as other things on this car, I thought was a really unique and new feature to it was that the A-arms in a lot of these parts are interchangeable. If you look at the rear A-arms and compare them to the front, you see that they are interchangeable. So if you break a set and then you order another set, which is probably about $3 or $4, you can interchange. You can use the front for the rear and the rear for the front. Just kind of flip and reverse them with that. So I thought that was a unique feature, and that saves time and money. Time with constructing and also with parts. Because if you build one for the front, it can be compatible with the rear. I haven't broken any parts on this car at all. I did flip it a lot. I actually flipped it in the street a couple of times. And you can see here, this is bound to happen anyway with any plastic shocks. It did get worn down here. And the wing did get worn down when I did flip it a couple of times. But that's like running your car across sandpaper. The body is Lexan. This hasn't broken, cracked, or anything like that. I haven't landed flat on top of it, but the body's held up fairly well. Actually, really well. I'm going to say fairly well. Other things about this car, my shocks, I haven't had any problems with. They came pretty much stand out the box. I didn't have to put any oil in them. I know one or two users before said they had to put oil in them, but I didn't have to with that. So I did tighten them up just a little bit. They are adjustable. They're not just the spacer tights, which is good. They do have these aluminum caps around them, which is good as well. And like I said, for the price point, it's excellent. Other things with this car, when I got my car, the toe end was actually sticking out a lot more than this. So I did have to do some adjustments to get that a little straight. I think they did that to help make it sharper in the turns, because the sharper it is out like that, it can turn a little bit sharper in the turns. But I went ahead and adjusted it so it was straight. It still had a little bit of oversteer, but I was able to control that with the throttle and stuff. So haven't had any problems or anything with that either. Go ahead and take this body off. First things first, as far as electronics go, the car comes with a 2700 540, yes, 540 size 4-pole KV motor. I haven't had any issues. The motor did get up to about 185 degrees or so running on 3S LiPo. So I put this on just to cut the temperature down by about 8 to 10 degrees. It's not needed or necessary, but I did it just to keep the motor under 200 degrees. I did switch out the speed controller and servo. The servo that comes with it is pretty slow. I mean, it's okay for ready to run, especially for the price range, but I wanted a little bit quicker turn response. And with the wide turning radius, I wanted to get that quick response. So I did replace the servo and the ESC. The ESC that comes with it is this 35 or 40 amp speed controller, and you can run up to a 3S LiPo on it. And it's 3.5 millimeter bullet connectors, not the 4.0. So you could fit a Traxxas Millennium motor on there with these particular bullet connectors. The thing about this is that if you run it on 3S, especially off-road, in about 2 or 3 minutes, it will go into thermal shutdown. It will overheat and shut down. You have to wait a few minutes for it to cool down. One of the reasons is the way this is enclosed in here. It's got a little piece that actually comes over top with little holes in it. And they did this so it can remain dust and waterproof and resistant, which I don't, fault them for that at all. But it does need a more powerful speed controller, or at least a higher amp speed controller, to handle when you start running 3S on that. And with it being so close to the motor, probably some of that heat is going over to this part too, and this being covered up and no airflow in there. I saw where some people were actually cutting this out so that more airflow can get in there so they wouldn't have to change the speed controller out. But I didn't. I just put a Castle one in there because I had one over in another car that wasn't being used. So I could run it without it shutting down. Of course, I did change the connectors on it. It does come with those bullet type connectors, but all my stuff is either Traxxas or Dean's. Now, one thing I do want to point out is a couple of things with the transmission. I haven't had any problems with this. It does come with a metal, yes, that is metal, spur gear, and this is 32 pitch. But I want to show you guys something real quick that I thought was interesting when I first looked at the Buggy. This is not a center diff, nor does it have a stepper clutch in it. It's just direct. And my fear was, you can see how long that drive shaft is. My fear was that with a lot of power, I'm going to start tearing gears up. But going behold, I didn't have any issues, and I thought that the Buggy would wheelie a lot because of that. Didn't have that problem either. Now, I think if you do go to higher kV motors, 35, 4000, and running on 3S, you may start having issues. I'm not sure if this was really designed for that. And I wouldn't get this to run speed runs or anything with it anyway. It's meant just to take it out, have some fun and bashing. And you can probably get away with racing with this thing as well. It's a little bit on the light side, but I think the other guys probably wouldn't mind if you race with this. I haven't checked the exact specs on it compared to an 8-scale Buggy, but it is 8-scale size. It just has 10-scale electronics and 10-scale tires and wheels on it. A couple other things that I want to point out. Battery tray is easy accessible, 1 pin. Move this out here. I got up to a 5,000 milliamp 3S in here, so it will fit that in here with no problems. I'm pretty sure a couple adjustments, you can get some larger batteries in there as well. With the radio, I did get the ready to run. It does come in and almost ready to run. It does not include the radio. It's about $20 cheaper. I figured $20 for a radio is not bad. This is kind of like a Fly Sky radio. It has your basic, if I can get this, pop this open. Does have your basic analog trims on there. Get this light going real quick so you guys can see that. Which is enough and fine for what it is. I wasn't expecting a whole lot. As long as it's 2.4, it runs, and I can go more than 300 feet on a 2.4 because I have had some where I couldn't. I haven't had any radio interference or anything with this, so that was another plus for this car as well. So in a nutshell, I really like this car, and do I recommend it? Yes. The price point is right on point. Like I said, if you go to Hobby Wing, and even if you look at it for an extra 2 or 3 minutes and just leave it open, they sometimes show you discounts. They'll give you $5-10 off or something like that. So I stayed on there. I think I paid like $173 for this at the time that I bought it. And they have parts. Parts are real cheap for this car as well. These tires and wheels are about $8 glued on for a set of 2 tires and wheels. So you're looking at about $20, maybe 23 or so to get a set of 4 of these shipped to you. Or you can use some 10-scale ones you have lying around. The wing was like $3. A-arms and stuff like $2 or $3. So parts are real cheap for this. If I could do it again, I definitely would buy this car again. I'd recommend it if someone was gonna first get into RC and they weren't sure didn't want to spend $300-400, get this, because the price of RC cars are actually going up, and that's not the best thing in the world. There are some companies like ECX that are bringing back some cheaper brand cars, which are good, because all in all, not too many people want to spend $400 or $500 for a toy. Yes, it's still a toy. It's hobby grade, but it's still a toy, especially for the first time, not knowing if they're going to keep it or not. And keep in mind, you still have to buy a LiPo or a battery and a charger for this. And if you don't get the ready to run, you have to buy a radio as well. So those are my thoughts on this. If you guys have one of these, leave your comments below. If you have any questions, leave those comments below. And as always, don't forget to like or dislike and subscribe if you have not. And stay tuned for more videos, because I'm going to actually do some probably conversions with this. I may turn it into a truck, not a stadium truck, but just a regular, maybe get a Proline body or something and put on it, and do a couple of different things with it, because I really like the way this thing runs and the way it handles, and it's pretty durable as well. And I may change out at the most, get a 3,000 4-pole KV motor. I'm not sure. I may leave it as it is and gear up, because it comes with a 17-tooth pinion gear in it. So as always, guys, thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on this.